That father accused of killing 4 children and torturing his wife. Today, Gregory Green faced a judge for the first time. 7 Action News reporter Simon Shaquette is live in Dearborn Heights to tell us what happened in court today. Simon.
Joanne, the suspect had almost nothing to say here in court, the judge ordering him held without any bond at the Wayne County Jail. Gregory Green only spoke for a moment very quietly. We can show you that footage from inside the courtroom. He did say that he did not need to be granted bond. The 49-year-old man facing up to 5 life sentences for allegedly murdering his 2 children and 2 stepchildren, also slashing his wife's throat and shooting her in the foot.
While I drink my coffee, I got a story for y'all. Crazy story. So this one is about a lady who, her and her 4 kids were by the man of her dreams, her soulmate. They met in church. They hit it off. They were in love. You know, they just didn't really pursue anything, but they wanted to. He ends up disappearing for 5 years. Nobody knows where he's at. She ends up getting with another man from the church. So she gets with that man. They have...
Damn, she got her another nigga quick!
2 kids together, a son and a daughter. And their relationship just didn't work out. It was like a mutual separation. It didn't work out. They were, you know, she was, yeah, no. So, he ends up popping back up. Like, hi, hello. So she sees him and she's starstruck. She's like, oh my God, is that who I think it is? And she goes and she starts talking to him. And it was like, pick up where we left off. Like, he wasn't just gone for 5 years with no trace. So they end up talking. They end up, you know, seeing each other, going out on dates, you know, starting to get close. There's people that's vouching for him, like, yeah, he was gone for 5 years. This is what happened. He went to jail, but it was accidental death. He went for accidental. They are like, he's a good guy. Like, give him a chance. So
You better not give no nigga no chance who done accidentally kill somebody. He might accidentally kill your stupid ass.
she's like, okay, I'll give him a chance. And you know, she stays in the relationship. They end up moving in together. He's great with her kids. You know, her 2 kids that she brought from a whole nother situation into their situation. He's great with them. You know, she's never seen any red flags. He did have a little temper issue where he would get really frustrated, but hey, who doesn't get frustrated? They didn't take it as, oh my God, he's, you know, who he is. And she just kept going with the situation. There was a point though where she was like, okay, this is a little too much for me. You're like very angry sometimes and I'm scared. So she's like, I'm about to exit left, you know, and she does. But when that happens, she finds out that she's pregnant by him. So she's pregnant. They go, they get, you know, they start talking, they get back together, they become this happy-go-lucky couple. Everything's great. It's better than what it ever was, and she's happy. They get married. He ties the knot on my girl, gets her married, gets her pregnant, then married. So they're married or whatever, and everything, like I said, everything's going good. There's no complaints, no concerns. Until there was. She ends up getting pregnant again. And this time, you know, everything's still going good. Everything's going great. But the day that baby was born, honey, he was so upset in the delivery room, like, and she's like, what is going on? Why are you so mad? And he's like, I wanted a boy. Man, you had 9 months to prepare for this daughter of yours. And she's like, just be happy we have a healthy baby. Like, you know, I understand the whole gender role. People do take that very, very serious. But if you have a happy baby, that should be the only thing that matters, you know. So, story goes on. She ends up bringing home this baby. She thinking it could work, but then she's like, okay, he's not really engaging with this baby. He doesn't kind of want anything to do with this baby. Like, I just don't know. So, she's like kind of to the point where I want to leave, but I don't have the funds. I have 4 kids. I don't have the means. So she wants to save some money before she gets up and go. She's doing that. The kids are in school, which is perfect because she didn't just want to snatch them out of their school in the middle of the school year. And she's saving her money. One day she came home and all the stove knobs were on. No fire coming out, just gas. And she's like, where is he? So she finds him. He's sitting on the couch. She's like, what's going on? He tried to blame it on one of the kids, and it was just like, no, you're lying. Then she comes and she, finds...
They must have... Oh, never mind. Stoves do... Never mind. I thought there was some type of safety feature on stoves and shit, but I'm thinking ain't no safety feature on my stove. Like, if you turn that motherfucker, the gas gonna come on, so...
out that, okay, he comes clean, because she's really, like, drilling him about it. And he comes clean. He said he was trying to commit suicide. Like, why would you do that? So, she's talking to him like, God, you can't do this, like, yada, yada, yada. But that really just didn't direct anything. He was still being the person he was being. Long story short, she finally gets enough money to leave. But before she gets enough money to leave, one more incident happened that really pushed her to the edge. So the little baby, the newest baby, she's a toddler. She's probably like 1 or 2. She wanted bread and butter. She goes and gets the bread off the counter. She brings it to her mom. Her mom's like, okay, go put it back in the kitchen. I'll get you the bread. She's carrying the bread back. He sees her in the kitchen carrying the bread. He takes the bread. The bread is squished. He's upset. He hits her really loud, like super loud, to where there was like a ringing sound. Pissed the mom off, made the other daughter that's not his daughter, she was very scared. Like, it was just a whole ordeal. And at that point, she was like, yep, I gotta leave. Now it's the end of the school year. I got enough money. We're out. She took her kids. She got in the car. She texted him from the driveway and was like, we are getting a divorce. You can see the kids. We'll do supervised visits. And I'm leaving. So she does. She leaves. And they're doing their supervised visits. At first, the conditions were he gets to pick the place and she would go. But she did say she wanted it in public places. But every time he chose a place, it was a not so public place. So she's thinking like he's just trying to take the kid from her. That's why he's doing it in a not public place. So she started getting cautious. And she told him, like, if you want to see your kids, I have to pick the place. I left off basically stating that she gave him the floor to meet in public places, and he was not upholding that request. So she kind of reeled it back in and told him, you need to comply with what I'm asking if you want to continue to see your children. So she set the boundary and said, I will choose the places. It's up to you to come or not. And she chose public places like malls and things like that. And he agreed. He was okay with it. So, after a few visits of him with the kids, and she started to see that this is the man that I fell in love with. They were having a great time. He was so attentive, so good. And she started to have that little flicker in her brain that's like, give him another chance. So she does. And everything's going good. They move back into with each other and they're living a good life. Everything is how she dreamed it to be. Until it wasn't. Those red flags started coming back up again, and she was at the point where she was uncomfortable in her own home. She started to think, I need to leave this man. And when she did have those feelings, she started planning. And at this point, she's so afraid of him that she's sleeping with pencils in her robe. One night, he woke her up by dragging her out of her bed to the living room. When she got to the living room, her son was there. He told her son to tie her up with zip ties. He had a pew-pew in his hand. And she thought, if we just listen, we can probably defuse this. She was not thinking that the unthinkable was going to happen. She, was thinking that he was doing this all to scare her, to prove a point. And she told her son, go ahead, listen to him. Listen to what he says. So he ties her up with zip ties on her hands. Then the husband turns to the son and ties up the son. And that daughter that was so scared of him, her oldest daughter, he ties her up with zip ties and instructs them to go down to the basement. They were a little reluctant to listen, but the mom told them, let's go. Let's do what he says. She just had that little thought in her head that he's not going to do this. They go down to the basement, and he tells them to lay down. Once they lay down, he goes back upstairs, and he's upstairs for a little while, and the son and the mom were trying to get their zip ties off because they had a phone in the basement, and they just thought, if we can get to this phone, we can be safe. We can call for help. This is not the end. Someone can help us. But they were unsuccessful. He finally started making his way back downstairs, so they had to stop. He came downstairs, started ranting and raging, and he told her, I don't want my children raised by you or anyone in your family, and I'm going to make you suffer. He then proceeds to ask her, do you want to see our children? And she says yes. At that moment, he turned the pew-pew on her daughter and pew-pewed her daughter. I believe it was twice. And just imagine, as a parent, being helpless to your child. She said that she just seen her daughter drop to the ground, and she was gargling and choking, and she couldn't do anything. Then the noise stopped. He then started, to just screaming things at her and telling her, you're going to suffer. You're going to suffer. He then turns the pew-pew on her son. And when he does that, he pew-pews the son. And the son just said, ouch, and lay down and turned away and stopped moving. No one knows how it feels to lose a child, especially two in one day, until it happens. He then turns the pew-pew on her and pew-pews her in the foot. And she doesn't feel anything because you hurt her to the max. She has no feeling. You hurt her more than you can ever hurt her. And then he takes a box cutter and cuts her from her ear to just about her mouth, and continues to cut multiple times. Then he leaves while she's laying there bleeding out, while her children are not responsive. And he goes upstairs. And then this man has the nerve to call the police and tell the police what he's done. He's waiting for the police in the driveway. When they arrive, he's in the driveway with his hands up, and he tells them what he did. So they go to the door and they're screaming, this is the police, is anyone in here? And she's yelling as much as she can that she needs help. They go downstairs, they try to help her, they call an ambulance, and they escort her out. Her two children were pronounced at the scene. Now, I know you guys are wondering, where's the other two kids, the babies? Well, they're in their bed sleeping. So while the police are doing a walk through the house, they find those children's room. And they're standing in the doorway. They see these two children in the bed sleeping. But as they get closer, they're like, something's not right. Something's not right. Those two children were unresponsive as well. But there was no physical wounds or trauma. Once the autopsy of those children comes back,
The gas.
this sick man put those kids in the car and carbon monoxide poisoned them and put them back to bed. So during his interrogation, they're, running down everything, and they're asking him about his children. And he says, oh, they were in bed sleeping. I kept checking on them. They're in bed sleeping. And they are explaining to him, no, this is what you did to them. This is what you did to their siblings. And this is what you did to your wife. The wife was alive in the hospital. Once she woke up, she asked about her babies. She already kind of remembered that she lost the two oldest. But she wanted to know where were her babies. They had to break the news to her. They actually brought her to her babies' bodies. And she lost it. Lost it. Imagine a mother of 4 losing all 4 of her children in one day. Horrible experience. I just pray for her strength and, that she can find, I don't even know how to find peace in this. But the thing about it that really takes the cake is that not only did you take away her children, you knew that she had a procedure where she can no longer carry children. No matter, it probably wouldn't be what she want, but just to think of that, you are making her suffer. And she does say she wished she would have left with her kids that day. But being that she didn't, she fights depression all the time. It's a whole new world for her. She feels like she failed her children. And she didn't. He did. She is now trying to cope with the loss of her children by making their names rememberable. She has fundraisers. She has scholarships. She has a lot of things going on now. But every day is a battle. Every day is a struggle. She has the scars from being cut with a box cutter all over her face. Every day she looks in the mirror, that's what she sees. Those horrible events. I pray for her. And I think this story needed to be, put out there. You guys should go look it up. I did not add their names because I just didn't. But if you guys would like to know their names, comment below and I will give you their names so you guys can possibly donate to the cause that she has right now going.
Okay. I thought this was a made-up story or a story that she saw off Tubi or some shit. You know what I'm talking about? But damn, that's a crazy story. The box cutter, the can't have no more kids. And like I said, not that she would have wanted to, but I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? How many years did the nigga get? You know what I'm saying? What can we all learn from this video? If a motherfucker done killed somebody and they talking about accidentally, how the fuck you accidentally kill somebody and accidentally serve 5 years? You know what I'm talking about? So, y'all be careful out there. But damn, you know what I'm saying? She said it's a real story. You know what I'm saying? My prayers go out to the mother who suffered this crazy incident. I'm gonna actually try to look the incident up, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna see if I can find it. If I can't find it, then we'll continue the video. If I can't find it, I'ma holla at y'all, alright? I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the story in the comments below. Either I'm about to say peace or I'm about to goddamn find a story if I can find it. So, peace.
And that father accused of killing 4 children and torturing his wife. Today, Gregory Green faced a judge for the first time. 7 Action News reporter Simon Shakett is live in Dearborn Heights to tell us what happened in court today. Simon.
Joanne, the suspect had almost nothing to say here in court, the judge ordering him held without any bond at the Wayne County Jail. Gregory Green only spoke for a moment very quietly. We can show you that footage from inside the courtroom. He did say that he did not need to be granted bond. The 49-year-old man facing up to 5 life sentences for allegedly murdering his 2 children and 2 stepchildren, also slashing his wife's throat and shooting her in the foot. Police say yesterday at their home on Hip Street, Green's 39-year-old wife was found in the basement bound with duct tape and zip ties. She remains hospitalized. The 4 children were all found dead at the home. Now, during court today, the prosecutor was adamant that Green poses a huge threat to society and must be confined to a jail cell prior to any trial. Take a listen.
Your Honor, based on the fact that this defendant is charged with 5 potential life offenses, his previous criminal history, the heinousness of this act, and the fact that the people believe that the chances of conviction are very strong, we would ask you obviously to remand this defendant.
Now, during today's court hearing, there were no family members present here. We've also learned that Green will be back for yet another hearing in about 2 weeks. Live in Dearborn Heights, Simon Shakette, 7 Action News.
I found it. And bro, y'all won't believe I read all this shit and then wasn't recording. So we're going to go through it real quick. Damn. So I did find it. Mothers whose 4 children were murdered by ex-husband speaks at sentencing. She said, "You're a devil in disguise." This is the fucking retard right here. You know what I'm talking about? That's him. And I know because I literally just wasn't recording, bro. What the fuck? Alright, so we ain't gonna read all this shit, but I'm gonna read some shit. You know what I'm saying? The Michigan woman whose 4 children were killed by her then husband attended the man's sentencing Wednesday, telling him he's a devil in disguise who will burn in hell for all in eternity for his crimes. People confirms that Faith Green recounted for the court the morning of September when Green, so this is him, Gregory Green, 50, fatally shot his stepchildren, 19-year-old Chadney Allen and 17-year-old Kara Allen, in front of her, forever changing her life. Faith Green was stabbed and shot by her husband, but survived the attack inside the couple's Dearborn Heights residence. Now, the story was a little different. I didn't know she got stabbed and shot. I just know he sliced her face. I guess, that could be a stab. But I don't remember her saying she was shot. But that's the lady, Faith Green. It says Green's own daughter, Green's own daughters, Faith and Faith. My bad. Green's own daughters with Faith. Kylie. Also, these are the daughters with Kylie and Coy Green both died from asphyxiation caused by carbon monoxide poisoning. Records verify that Green placed them in a car. Toxic fumes from the tailpipe were routed into the vehicle through the plastic hose. So this is correct. She says, "You're a con artist. You're a monster. You're a devil in disguise," she said Wednesday. "You are forever exposed." Now, Gregory Green was sentenced to 47 to 102 years in prison. He will be eligible for parole after he turns 97. Stupid ass boy. His ex-wife, who was granted a divorce in December, told Green he murdered because he was insecure, but claims he failed in his mission to ruin her. Damn, see, the nigga just crazy. What else did I read that I wanted y'all to see? According to the court, Observer Gregory recently admitted before that he killed his 2 daughters and his stepdaughters late September, 8 years after his release from prison for the first wife stabbing death. See, look, this was the first wife. Where did I fucking read that shit at? Here we go. See, look. There you go. Green pleaded no contest for his first wife's 1991 murder. He was released in 2008, and he and Faith Green married 3 years later. So, damn. So, on Wednesday, before learning his punishment, Gregory Green addressed the court. I don't even want to read what the fuck this fucking retarded said. He told some help me. I feel bad for this deeply impacted everyone. What? Stupid ass boy, you the one who did it. You stupid ass deserve to goddamn stay in jail. Like, what the fuck? But, yeah. So, this is definitely it. This is definitely the case. You know what I'm saying? My prayers go out to the mom. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely crazy. And this the fucking retard right here. This the guy right here who felt insecure. Stupid ass. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. The nigga was 50. 50. Yeah, the nigga was 50. Damn, I guess he say, shit, I can't get me another bitch. I'm like, what the fuck wrong with him, bro? Anyway, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. He definitely didn't have to kill them kids. You know what I'm saying? Them kids definitely didn't deserve that. Like I say, my prayers goes out to the mother. I wish, you know, like I said, what can we all learn from this? The nigga he pled guilty, no contest for his first wife's 1991 murder. He was released in 2008. Damn, and they got married 3 years later. Holy. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with me, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this story in the comments below. This was a good story. Love y'all. Peace.